Hello again, everyone. This week, we are moving on into our last unit, starting with Chapter 8, looking at Sections 8.2 and 8.3. 8.1 is somewhat useful stuff, but there are bits in there that I'm not too crazy about, so I'm leaving that as extra credit for you guys who want it. Instead, we're going to move on, starting with 8.2, where we'll be looking at hypothesis testing for differences between means, where we assume that we don't know the standard deviations from our two data sets. For this entire chapter, we're moving on and looking at how we can take this idea of hypothesis testing into another dimension by, instead of looking at just whether or not one is useful, we compare how one looks next to another, as it were. We're going to get the pretty standard hypothesis test procedure here, but in this new context. So there's going to be some new formulas to chase around, but a lot of the process is going to go in the same way. And then for 8.3, getting ahead of myself. I think we're all in a space where we're there, I suppose. But for 8.3, we are looking at testing those types of differences again, but now in terms of dependent means. So we're going to have a slightly different process in that context, where the word dependent, it's not the best word there, because it's not just for cause and effect things. Really, it's just looking at any situation in which we have paired data sets, but that's what we'll see there. And then for this week, we have our worksheet with some practice, along with a couple of sections on MyLab due for next week, and the pre-assessment moving in to week 13. And like I said, we are getting there. We're almost there. But for now, let's get into our last unit, get some work in with Chapter 8. I'll see you in there to talk about testing for differences between means.